Guys, it's Joe Cool. I want to thank everybody who clicked on this and given the time to watch this video. It took a lot of time to make. This is just a sample of a bigger Pokemon retrospective that I'm working on, and I wanted to show people like what I'm doing. It's all done by me, the editing, the recording, as you can tell when you watch it. So like and subscribe. It'll really do a lot for my confidence, self-esteem, and to give me some more motivation to continue doing this a lot faster than what I'm doing it. Please watch to the end of the video. I'm giving away something close to me, and it's only a contest for my Patreon subscribers, excuse me. The Patreon is in the description below. Like I said, thank you. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, comment. If you want to argue and debate, I'm here for it. Like I said though, watch to the end. I'm having a contest and a giveaway only for my Patreon subscribers, whatever the word is. Anyway, enjoy. Cool.
I wanna be the very best. I wanna be the very best. I wanna be the very best.
I was in 3rd grade when the Pokemon craze first swept through the world. While my friends had the actual Pokemon cards, I couldn't afford them, so I had to do what I could. Around the time, Lunchables were promoting Pokemon, and on the backs of them, they had little cards that had Pokemon entries on them. I collected all of those. I also remember my mom waking me up at 5, 6 in the morning to watch Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon before I caught the school bus to go to school to talk about the episodes we just watched. I also remember doing homework in exchange for Pokemon cards. I remember grinding so hard to learn everything I could to be well versed on this popular subject. I had everything at that time, but there was one thing I needed to complete my collection. My birthday is September 9th for all of you guys out there in the metaverse if you want to get me a gift. In 1998, that game dropped a few weeks after my birthday, and I knew I wasn't getting it. I had to wait. So I would watch my friends play the game. I would borrow their game sometimes, but it still felt like I was missing out. But that was going to change. I knew it was going to come Christmas. And when Christmas 1998 rolled around, and I opened all those gifts and didn't receive it, I was crushed.
I was so distraught.
I wasn't ungrateful, and I tried to explain that to my mom. I just felt like without this game, I didn't belong. I was a poor kid going to a predominantly white school.
Bart's family is poor.
I didn't fit in. I was picked on for the way I dressed, picked on for the way I talked. I was picked on by the white kids in my school. But one thing I was not picked on was when it came to my knowledge of Pokemon and the ease I could beat video games.
Oh, I'm about to beat the high score, yo!
My grandfather saw how distraught I was. With a smile on his face, pulled out a small box wrapped in blue gift wrap, and handed it to me and said,
Forgot I had another one here.
It was like things went into slow motion as I ripped off that paper. I didn't even finish opening it before I saw it was Pokemon Blue version. I completely lost it. I jumped on him crying, so happy, so full of joy, so fulfilled.
Oh, I feel so fulfilled.
Me too!
I spent the rest of my winter break playing the hell out of that game, to the point that the sticker on it began to fade out and all that was left was a blue cartridge. I read and reread the instruction manual as if I was being initiated or it was like a manual or map to a new world that I was about to experience. I was such a child back then. I was so little that I didn't even know what deposit or withdraw meant. So the first time I played through Pokemon Blue, I had the first few Pokemon I had picked up on my way. I think it was like a Charizard, that just swept through everything. A Butterfree, Pidgeot, Raticate, and I want to say a Spearow maybe. I can't too much remember. It wasn't until later on in my second playthrough where I experimented with things that I was able to switch it up when I realized that I could deposit these Pokemon into this box and take out other Pokemon. The third time, I had really started building my team after learning this game. I still use some of my original Pokemon from that team to this day. Blastoise, Snorlax, Dragonite, Magmar, Kadabra because I couldn't get Alakazam. I didn't have the link cable. Pidgeot until I got to Cinnabar Island and got Aerodactyl. And sometimes Zapdos. Those were my ride or dies. Those are the ones that carried me through Red and Blue. Then came Pokemon Yellow.
Look who's back.
It was a remake of the anime that I had grown to love, so I had to have it.
I really need it.
I even stole fundraiser money from school that we had been collecting by selling certain items out of this magazine that I can't too much remember. I used that money to go buy the special edition Pokemon Yellow version, Game Boy Color, and that game. When my mom found out where I got the money from, she beat my ass.
I understand. I promise. That ain't hurt.
But I swear to God, even now to this day, it was worth it. I finally had all 3 starters in this game, and I swept through it like a champ. At this point in my life, I felt unstoppable.
Dude, he's unstoppable.
I was a Pokemon expert on the way to becoming a Pokemon master. My friends were in shock and awe.
Dude, he's unstoppable.
Then came 2016. The world was bumping Drake's Views.
Who used to call me on my...
We got Travis Scott's Biebs in the Trap.
So don't you open up that window.
And we got Kanye's Life of Pablo.
Wait, Kanye West.
A freaking classic.
That's Kanye.
Kanye West.
And while life was good at the time, one thing really stood out that came out in 2016. And that was Pokemon Go. The game hit the world like cocaine.
Cocaine. Glorious cocaine.
And everyone, including me, was back addicted to catching these pocket monsters.
And here I thought it was Pokemon.
I didn't just catch Pokemon though. I was really out here in these streets. I was catching Pokemon in real life. I was meeting new people, mingling with a bunch of bad chicks. I was battling again, you know what I mean? Getting my fitness in. I caught myself buying Pokeballs and incubators in the game. Like I was really addicted, but it was worth it. It's in this first month, Pokemon Go had 45 million daily active users. 45 million.
That's a lot of zeros.
All right. There was ratchet hood chicks playing Pokemon Go, okay? It really swept the entire world. By year 2, it was making well over $1 billion. The whole world was back on the Pokemon train, and as a Pokemon veteran, I was back and I was there for it, okay? So what happens, right? When a mobile phenomenon like Pokemon Go takes over the world?
Let's all get back to getting this money.
Naturally, it spills over into the console world. Enter Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Released in 2018, these weren't just remakes, they were Pokemon's and Game Freak's way of tying the Pokemon Go experience into the Nintendo Switch. And they sold like crazy. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee sold 3 million copies on launch weekend, helping push 654,000 Nintendo Switch consoles, and by December 2022, it sold over 15 million copies. But while Let's Go was a success, It didn't just leave a mark on sales, it laid the groundwork for everything Pokemon was about to do on the Nintendo Switch moving forward. And if you thought this was the peak of this retrospective, chill out, yo. Things are about to get a lot cooler. Let's dive in. The first thing that happens is Eevee, my precious, cute little Eevee, leaps out of the TV screen and beckons you to follow them into their world. And I do. I mean, wouldn't you?
I'd do it.
After a quick reminder of what language I actually speak, Eevee wakes me up and we meet the legend himself, Oak. Professor Oak if you're nasty.
It's the professor!
One thing I noticed right away is that Oak looks way older than he ever did in the original games. Maybe Kanto's gotten a little tougher on the guy with time. Maybe time has actually passed. We don't know. He gives his classic speech about the world of Pokemon, tells us about himself, and sends us into this meager character selection. I name myself Joe Uncool and my rival, Austin John. Why?
What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world? Austin John Place here, and today, I think I'm in Pokemon.
Reasons that I will not discuss. And with that, we're dropped into the beautiful, familiar land of Kanto. Polished, vibrant, and particularly oozing with nostalgia. Say what you want about Let's Go, but seeing this version of Kanto, it feels good to come home. After a short intro, we're able to nickname our Eevee and we're off on our adventure. I catch a few Pokemon along the way, and this is where Let's Go shows its biggest change, the catching system. It's a lot closer to Pokemon Go compared to the mainline games, and it's clear that this was meant to bridge the mobile and console experiences. Speaking of making things easier, let's talk co-op mode as well. This also made it easier for people who are sitting with you watching to play the game with you. You can't play online with each other, but this was the first time you were able to play Pokemon as a two-player game. And if you're playing with somebody else, battles become a breeze and catching Pokemon turns into this synchronized dance routine of perfect timing for easy catches. And to be honest, it takes a very easy game to basically toddler mode. Skipping past the missed encounter with Team Rocket, I grab Oak's package at the mark and they fast travel me back to the lab instead of me having to walk back. We get back and we're giving a shiny new Pokedex.
So shiny. Yeah.
And given the task to basically catch them all. Naturally, we fight our rival at this point, and like I said, it's two players, so we gang up on him and head back out into the world. From here, Let's Go introduces us to one of its many quirks, hand-holding. Lots and lots of hand-holding, and trust and believe, I'm going to complain about it every time. I get it though, this game was made with new players in mind, but still, there's literally a Pokemon school right there in the first city. We can learn ourselves. Sometimes the game doesn't just guide you, it pushes you. After a quick stop on the west side of the town to catch some Pokemon, we chat with Austin John and we battle him. He tells us about the Pokemon League and how we got to collect gym badges in order to get into there. This gives us the second mission of this game. Collect gym badges by battling Pokemon. Viridian City is next, and I have to say, even with Pokemon running wild across the overworld, the game doesn't lag. Smooth as freaking butter.
So smooth.
Oh, incredibly smooth.
And this is the best time to talk about catch combos. Catch combos is where you catch the same Pokemon repeatedly without letting them escape or catching another Pokemon in between the chain to get rare Pokemon to start spawning and shiny Pokemon. This is the best way, and I think the only way to shiny hunt in this game. And we'll get to shiny hunting later. We make it out of Viridian Forest after catching a Bulbasaur, Pikachu, and battling every trainer in there. Computer City, where Austin John kindly reminds us of what we need to be doing, which is getting gym badges. He tells us how he's beaten Brock and hands over some potions. Thanks, I guess. We didn't need them. We don't use items.
Need your advice. I don't need your carry.
It seems as if Pokemon has taken the idea of rivals and just made them like helpmates. They aren't like Blue in the old games, who, was a bit of a smartass, but was also your friend. It really felt like kids traveling and going on an adventure together. We spend a little time helping Slowpoke and get introduced to daily missions. We're rewarded a big pearl after chilling with the man for a while, then it's on to Brock's gym. Faithful to the original, but it's been updated and looks way nicer and cleaner. The battle, short, sweet, and I got the badge. As soon as we step outside, the story throws us a curveball, with Blue appearing. He explains to us that he was told about two trainers that embarked on their journey out of Pallet Town just like he and Red did before him. He also talks about when he was starting his journey helping Professor Oak, that he would just scribble notes on a map to help make the Pokedex, and that we have received the very first ones. That's when it hit me.
Whoa.
This isn't a remake. This isn't a sequel. This has to be something in between. It's like we're walking in the footprints of Red and Blue, living a version of their story, but it's different. And I'm asking myself, did the events of the original games ever happen? Are we a reboot, a retelling? I don't know. It's weird. Caught somewhere between nostalgia and rewriting history. And honestly, I love how it makes me think about it. Mount Moon is next, and after hearing quiet rumors of Team Rocket, we are formally introduced to them in the form of Jesse and James, with their original anime Pokemon lineup and their famous quote. Peak nostalgia, chef's kiss if I must say so. Team Rocket is after fossils and they're serious about it. We run through them like it's nothing and get to the end. We grab our fossils and we fight Jesse and James, who blast off again.
He said it!
After leaving Mount Moon and traveling a bit, we land in Cerulean City. This place is gorgeous. The water, the flowers, the music. It's a massive glow up from the Game Boy days, I promise you. We're stopped by Eevee, who wants to visit a fountain and donate some money. So naturally, I drop off a few bands for my baby. After a quick fight with Austin John, who's all rattled about us talking Pokemon, we cross Nugget Bridge, where Team Rocket even tries to recruit us. Unfortunately, we can't say yes like we could in our childhood, but it's still cool. We can also grab us a Charmander, and we can trek through this gauntlet of trainers before reaching Bill's house. And when we arrive, Bill has turned himself into a Pokemon trying to work on his transferring system. We help him out, watch a cutscene, and score us some SSN tickets, and learn that he's the genius behind the PC storage system. From there, we storm through Misty, a quick battle in this beautiful gym, and head to take on the Rocket Grunt who stole the TM for Dig. Traveling underground, we arrive at Vermilion City and trade a Geodude for an Alolan form Geodude in the Pokemon Center. The SSN is our next destination after grabbing our Squirtle. We bother and fight passengers, we admire the scenery with Eevee, and we absolutely wreck Austin John once again. We go upstairs to the captain quarters and speak to a seasick captain.
Can I help you?
No, but maybe I can help you.
I need an adult.
After giving him a hand job, we are taught the secret technique Cut, and this is Let's Go's replacement for HMs. It's a smart change. No more wasting moves on Surfer Cut. No more having to keep Pokemon that don't work with your team in your team in order to progress. I mean, yes, we do lose a little bit of that old school team building, but it does make things a lot easier. After using Cut to get past the bushes, we arrive at Vermilion City's gym. After solving the gym's puzzle, we face Lieutenant Surge, a cocky American war vet who loves shocking people into submission. Fun fact, Surge originally bragged about his Pokemon zapping enemies into paralysis on Blue and Red version. After beating him, we get his autograph, and honestly, that's hilarious. Peak cocky American energy.
Who wants an autograph?
They got us down to the T. Outside the gym, Misty shows up and congratulates us and points us towards our next destination. Or, escorts us and holds our hand through it. We head through Diglett Cave and reach this house on the other end where we grab this versions of Flash so we can make it through Rock Tunnel. Once we leave, once again, Austin John appears and offers to walk us to the next route. And it's here where the hand-holding really starts to wear thin. I get it. I do. Let's Go wants to make sure no one gets lost, no one is confused on what to do next. But when I was 9 years old, no one told me where to go every 5 minutes. I explored, I failed, I figured it out. And that's how real adventure works. You gotta let us spread our wings sometimes, Game Freak. Yes, we're children, but we're not kids, okay?
What does that even mean?
I don't even think that makes sense. We reach the end of Route 9 and are ambushed by Team Rocket. Surprisingly, Laura Leigh, a member of the Elite Four, casually flows by and helps us out. She takes on 3 guys at once, and I'm just like, whoa, lady, it's not even the weekend yet. You gotta chill. And I laugh because she's the Ice Queen.
Oh, ha, 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 I get it.
Anyway, it's still a great way to demystify the Elite Four early on and show just how strong these trainers really are. They're not just in-game boss, they're legends walking among us. We travel through Rock Tunnel, catch a few Rock-type Pokemon, avoid a few battles, and make it to the next city where everything changes. Lavender Town. The tonal shift is immediate. The colors die down a little bit, the pace slows, the music hits that first eerie string note, and I'm instantly transported back to being a kid again, reading creepypastas and exchanging stories about possessed cartridges and ghost Pokemon. Wondering if the kid in the game really said you're next before it disappeared. The place didn't just leave a mark, it branded itself into my childhood memory. And that music, easily my favorite in the game. It's slower now, more orchestral, I believe that's the word, but still carries that same energy that the 8-bit music had given us. It doesn't scream scary, it whispers it. Lavender Town soundtrack in the original Red and Blue was famous for how unsettling it was. There was even an urban legend in Japan called the Lavender Town Syndrome. It's been debunked now, but the original tune supposedly caused headaches and worse. It wasn't true, like I said, but that just speaks volumes to how rumors spread and how this place just felt different. In Japan, I'm told, deaf in children's media is often approached with more quiet reverence than avoidance. Pokemon Tower, a literal skyscraper graveyard, is an example of that. Instead of skipping over death, the game pauses and sits with it, not for horror, but reflection. All this time we think that Pokemon just faint, but it's clearly stated that Pokemon do die. We run into our rival here, and he hits us with a heavy question. Did one of your Pokemon die? That line kind of threw me off, because I remember back in the day, it was speculated that Blue's Raticate died. And when we ran into him, he says, doesn't look like any of your Pokemon are dead, but I can make them faint. It feels like this version kind of softens it up a little bit. I mean, it's cool. Turns out that Team Rocket is behind a lot of the weirdness here. They has tried to strong arm and sell Marowak skulls, and in the process ended up killing this Cubone's mother. The ghost on in the tower, it's definitely her. Even Eevee gets the creeps in here. We try to climb higher, but the ghost blocks us, and if you get too close to the ghost, it boots you out. Once outside, we see Jesse and James scheming and talking. They explain how they can't get into the tower and how they should just go back to the boss. They take Cubone with them in order to get some kind of reward and praise and recognition. We chase after them, and we detour through another underground path and surface in Celadon City, basically a mini Vegas of Kanto. It has a huge mall, Game Freak's in-universe office, Team Rocket's HQ, the game corner, and of course, Erica's gym. We gather loot, pick up items, and we do a little retail therapy because, priorities. Before we can go shopping, Brock stops us and gives us pewter chewies and some tea, which is super random, but it's appreciated. I don't believe these things kind of happen in the original game where Misty and Brock helped you out, but I guess it's a nod to the anime. He also has extra tea that he gives to the guards, and that opens up the rest of the map for us, and no more underground tunnels. Now, on to Erica's gym. It is beautiful, filled with flowers and grass-type Pokemon. She's literally asleep under a tree when we challenge her, and in order to get into this gym, you need cute Pokemon. Oh yeah, the pervy old man is still sitting outside the gym peeking in like it's 1996, 1998. Some things never change. Erica's gym is filled with flowers and grass-type Pokemon. She doesn't pose much of a challenge though. It's basically EXP farming before the real action. The game corner, Rocket's hideout. Back in the day, this place had a working slot machine that you could play to win money, to get you a polygon, but they took it out of these games because children shouldn't be gambling. Whatever, it's cool. We tear through Team Rocket and go through a couple of spinning tiles and run into Jesse and James at the bottom. They're guarding the office where Giovanni and Archie are talking. After the usual double battle, we are finally introduced to him. Yes, him. Giovanni, the Italian suit-wearing mob boss of Team Rocket. Cold, calculated, and a self-proclaimed greatest trainer ever. He's in there having a meeting with Archie, who has brought him to Slithscope in order to convince him that they should hijack Slithco for Team Rocket's grand ambitions. This is the first time that we are introduced to the ideology of Team Rocket and Giovanni. He sees Pokemon as tools, resources, and assets in order for him to gain monetary gain. We battle, he loses, he gives up Cubone, and tells us that he recognizes how we treat our Pokemon with respect, almost as if they're partners. Then he vanishes like a boss who just lost the quarterly numbers. Cubone runs back to Lavender Town, and of course we follow to progress the game. This time with the Slithscope, we are able to see what the ghost really is. Marowak, Cubone's mother. There is no battle like back in the day, just a moment. A short emotional cutscene where we get to help her spirit rest. For a game aimed at kids that's surprisingly mature and respectful. It doesn't exploit the moment, it lets it breathe. Team Rocket shows up, again, because they don't quit, and we dust off Jesse and James one more time before they blast off. We reach Mr. Fuji, and the guy has been in deep prayer, completely unbothered by all the chaos that's been going on. We walk him to his Pokemon house, and he thanks us by giving us the Pokemon flute. Now we can wake up Snorlax, my certified tank, the backbone of my team. I had to stop and get my team right and save because this next part is not your average Pokemon encounter. We actually have to battle Snorlax this time. Before then, Mr. Fuji comes in and explains all of this to us. And like I said, the hand-holding continues. I send in my two-man squad, land a perfect throw, and catch Snorlax because I'm a pro. I told y'all, I do this. Just like before, Route 12 is a grind. A true test of patience and stamina. And a lot of item usage. Along the way, we meet one of the trainer coaches I forgot to mention earlier. In the post-game, they become master trainers. You'll need to beat 6 of them just to challenge Red himself. Finally, we make it to Fuchsia City after this grueling task of battling all these Pokemon trainers. And this is the home to one of my favorite OG gym leaders. But before we get there, we have to go to the beach, where we run into Jesse and James, who gives us filler dialogue about Gold Park. They hand over a pair of gold teeth that we need for a mission later, and they blast off again. I know I skipped over Gold Park. We'll get back to it later. Chill. I haven't really shown many of my battles in this retrospective, but this one, you'll need to see. Koga's gym is dope, filled with smoke screens, mirrors, ninja, and Naruto vibes.
Oh, right, Naruto.
They even mentioned the Safari Zone, which I'm pretty sure doesn't exist in this game, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Poison types are my absolute favorite type of Pokemon. Dragon comes second, then probably Fairy or Psychic. It kind of depends on the day and the Pokemon, but they kind of go hand in hand. The early game teaches you the basics with easy gym leaders that your starter Pokemon could easily counter. They include Rock, Water, Grass, Thunder. But Koga teaches you about status effects and defense strategies. The game completely ramps up after this point. His team stacks Toxic with Protect and Light Screen. Toxic gets stronger every turn. You usually faint after 3 to 5 turns if you're also taking hits from your opponent. Kogel will stack that with Light Screen and Protect with his Muck and Wheezing. Pair that with Protect and you have really big problems. He also confuses you with Golbat while you're toxically poisoned. All his Pokemon had high defense as well. The game really throws you into the fire after dealing with the exhaustive grind on Route 12, not even 15 minutes prior. I lose nearly my whole team, but I'm the main character, so I don't ultimately lose. And shout out to item spanning. Don't judge me, they're here for a reason. After all that chaos, we need a break. So back to the missing Safari Zone, which has been replaced by Pokemon Go Park. Instead of catching rare Pokemon and getting the Surf HM like in the OG games, now you transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go and re-catch them here in the park. No real thoughts, except this is how you get Meltine, a mythical Pokemon. I got 2 of them, one shiny, and honestly, it's only because shiny hunting in Pokemon Go is easy, it kind of feels like cheating sometimes. I digress. We have Eevee learn Surf and we get a surfboard. Then we take the gold teeth to the warden to learn strength. And that's Fuchsia wrapped up. From here we head west to get onto Cycling Road. That's been transferred to like a walking section where you can walk Pokemon, grab items, and battle a few chainers. But forget all that. It's time to finally finish this game. I noticed my team does not have any electric Pokemon, so I believe I need Zapdos. Period. Point blank. So I go back to the abandoned power plant and catch me one.
Just like that? Just like that.
After catching Zapdos, I head to Saffron City. We can't get in the Sliff Co. at first, but Jesse and James show up again to help. We scope the scene, pun intended, and run into Austin, John, and Blue. Blue's treated like a legend here, and the receptionist practically comes when he walks in.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
He throws up the deuces like a Pokemon Sasuke.
Deuces!
Cool as hell, and we go on to contemplate how we're going to take down Team Rocket. And this is the moment where it's all confirmed to me that we're in an alternate universe. Because how is Blue a legend without doing the groundwork that he did in the original games that made him a legend?
Makes sense to me.
He tells us he's going to team up with the Elite Four to wipe out Team Rocket once and for all and to drive out their boss. After battling him, we push through the building, and I'm not going to show you. I'm going to skip that. I hate this part of the game because it's so easy to get lost, and I got lost a bunch of times, even if I played this game like a billion times. After going through the tower, we reach Giovanni as he's threatening the president over the Master Ball. The president denies it exists and says that they weren't able to produce one, and even if he were able to produce one, he would never hand it over to someone like him.
Pretty cold-blooded, kid.
The disrespect is real. This man is ready to risk his life and his employees over a Pokeball that he hands to us 5 minutes later. That's extreme.
Makes sense to me.
The story deepens a little bit here. As a child, I guess I kind of glanced over this, but Sliff Co. did make a deal with Team Rocket. They used stolen research to create Pokemon like Polygon, Lapras, and eventually Mewtwo. So of course Giovanni is pissed. He's been portrayed. They cut him out of a business deal. He lost money. And when we roll up, he's mad and takes it out on us.
I'm going to punch you in the neck.
But we beat him, of course. The president now sees us as a hero and gives us the Master Ball. The one he just lied and said did not exist. The one he just put his employees' lives at risk for. He gives it to a 10-year-old. Whatever. We leave and Austin John gives us props and tells us what happened after we beat Giovanni and while we were talking to the president. He then says we should take on Sabrina. Thanks for the hand holding, bro. I was totally not going to do that. Even though I do go do that, we aren't ready to hit up her gym yet. We're extremely low level. So instead, we go to the dojo next door, run through that and grab a Hitmonchan before heading to Cinnabar Island. Once we get to Cinnabar Island, we revive our fossils and explore the abandoned mansion. And this is the part where things get crazy.
Juicy.
As we explore the abandoned mansion, we come across a bunch of notes, either left by the researchers here or, in my opinion, Blaine. The place is full of notes, scratched up containment chambers in the basement, and gives us a glimpse into Mew's backstory. The vibes are extremely eerie. This island has everything Team Rocket has been fighting for and needs, including fossil research, Mew's discovery, and a professor. Blaine doesn't just sport a white coat for nothing. This man was obviously a professor. Giovanni's fingerprints are all over this place. This was his home, in my opinion.
Makes sense to me.
People say Let's Go has no plot, but it's all there. You just have to really look. Quickly though, we battle Sabrina, we lose once, I go heal up, and then we win the second time because psychic types are OP still. Vermilion City's gym is locked and Austin John tries to open it. We eventually go back to see Professor Oak, who drops a nostalgic nod asking us his grandson's name. Blue clowns him over it. It's cute, it's nostalgic, let's move on.
Wrap it up!
We get Mega Evolution from Blue and finally head to face Giovanni. This is a tense battle that starts with a mean stare down. Giovanni gives us this dialogue about how he's the strongest trainer ever and blase, blase, blah. We beat him, and unlike the original games, the dialogue here is different. The original games used to imply that the badges had actual power over Pokemon. Gym badges allowed you to catch certain Pokemon over a certain level. Giovanni says that he's going to train and improve after being humbled by a 10-year-old who destroyed his entire empire, and I have to say, that is extreme character development and growth.
That's growth. That's progress.
Now onto the final stretch. We reach the Pokemon League and we have this heartfelt moment with Eevee before we head in. The Elite Four consisting of Lorelei, the Ice Queen, Bruno, the Fighting Master, Agatha, Oak's Old Flame, and a Ghost type trainer, and Lance, the Dragon Tamer. None of them are too tough though. Honestly, once you get to this point in the game, it's a lot easier. I remember back in the old days, the league was nothing to play with back in Red and Blue. After defeating Lance, Oak walks in and teases us that he's the final boss before sending us to battle Austin John one last time. Of course we win, our team is enshrined in Hall of Fame, and the credits roll. I'm not covering the post-game too deeply, but here's the spark notes. You can catch Mewtwo, but I'm shiny hunting him right now. Like I said, you can beat 6 master trainers or you can battle Red. Green also appears and you can battle her after you catch Mewtwo and again in Celadon City. And Blue takes over Giovanni's gym. You can also re-challenge all the gym leaders and instead of Giovanni, you'll fight Blue. And just like that, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee wraps up. But before I go, I have to say, Team Rocket and Giovanni, best villains in the entire franchise. Jesse, James, and Meowth are just as iconic as Pikachu, along with their beautiful, simple design. The bold red on black, it means, at least to me, join us or be lost in the endless void of nothingness. Dead ass chills. Giovanni was playing 4D chess, fossil research, Pokemon digitalization via Bill, global transport via Lieutenant Surge and the SS Anne, using Sliff code to make the Master Ball, manipulating Professor Fuji and Blaine, all in the attempts to create Mew, opening up the game corner to raise up profits, and selling Marowak skulls on the side. It all funnels into that one goal of creating Mewtwo and his empire of money over Pokemon. But when Mewtwo burns down the mansion, he has to take over Sliff Code because everybody tries to back down because all of a sudden they have morality. It's masterful writing. Maybe I'm bouncing all over the place, but this is just all coming to me how just great it is. It's subtle, it's layered, and a little bit dark if you're paying attention. People say that like Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee are kiddie games with nothing behind them, but it's there if you look. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu are, in my opinion, fantastic games. Sure, it's easy to point out that they're capitalizing on the massive success of Pokemon Go, but honestly, that was a stroke of genius. The game simplifies things for new players, and yes, it focuses more on catching rather than battling wild ones, which, let's be real, was the heart of Pokemon Go in the first place, but it looks beautiful while doing it. And sure, some of the hardcore fans might grumble about the changes, but the way Let's Go integrates Pokemon Go's mechanics is brilliant from a marketing standpoint. You can even link the two games to get a mythical Pokemon just for the incentive of playing the other game. The berries, the throwing mechanics, they work surprisingly well on the home console, making the catching feel refreshed and rewarding. Speaking of rewarding, giving extra EXP points for catching Pokemon rather than battling them makes it so you have to do that to level up your Pokemon to be any good at battling. And that makes it kind of addicting, which starts a whole loop of wanting to catch them all. And as the difficulty keeps ramping up, it keeps you hooked and engaged. Now, let's talk about Kanto. Yeah. We visited like 100 times before, but this time, like, Kanto has never looked better. The scenery, the music, it's a whole new experience in an all too familiar place. Everything feels alive. The towns, the city, the people, and the Pokemon themselves. You can't help but feel nostalgic. And for someone like me who grew up with the original games, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee scratches that itch in a way nothing else can. Okay, I'm being a little dramatic. But it's nostalgia done right. The music, especially the music, takes me back to the classics, but with a fresh new coat of paint on it. Now, I know we could debate all day about the pros and cons of this game, but one thing is undeniable. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee set the stage for everything that was to come. Overworld Pokemon, riding Pokemon, a major focus on catching Pokemon, Pokemon following you, mega evolutions, getting rid of not overworld, but random encounters. This wasn't just a remake, it was a glimpse into the future. A new take on storytelling where the past and future collide, maybe. I don't know. I might be just dragging and reaching. But I know we were getting a taste of what was to come. And let's not forget about the story. It's odd, to say the least. And Let's Go, we're following in the footsteps of Red and Blue, I do believe. Yet there's a twist. You can fight Red, Blue, and Green. They're all considered legends in their respective rights. And they seem to exist alongside you in this weird way, because they became legends by defeating Team Rocket and getting rid of Giovanni and also taking care of Mew. But we do that. The timeline feels a bit confused, and for weeks I couldn't figure out what was going on and what was I missing and why it was so strange. That's when I decided to, dive a little bit deeper just for this retrospective. I watched the little shorts that Pokemon Company released on their YouTube. I watched the anime over again, and most importantly, I turned to the manga, Pokemon Adventures, where Red, Blue, and Green origins are explored. The first few books go much deeper into the story. They even explain why Team Rocket is so comfortable in places like Sabrina City and why we see Lieutenant Surge and SSN in the way we do. This leads us perfectly into our next chapter, where we'll discuss Red, Blue, and Green's first adventures in the Pokemon Adventures manga. We're going to go over the Red, Blue, and Yellow arc. Trust me, the manga takes everything you think you know about the games and animes and gives it so much more depth. Let's dive into our first Pokemon intermission. Pokemon Intermon. I don't know. I'm gonna figure out a way to combine these two words. And yeah, that's what we're getting into right now, where we talk about Pokemon Adventures, the manga. Hey guys, it's Joe. I really appreciate everybody who made it to the end of this video. This is my first time ever trying to do a retrospective, so excuse me if I stumble on some of my words. I'm trying to get this all together, so just have patience with me. Like I said, this is just a sample of a bigger video and project that I'm working on entitled Pokemon Makes the Switch. I really hope you all enjoyed this. I really hope you all subscribe, turn the notifications on, and for everybody who made it to the end of this video, I would like to announce that to all of my Patreon subscribers for the next month, I will be entering you all into a contest and randomly choosing one of you all to get this. Oh my gosh, it's too bright. Oh no, all the lights, all the lights, all of the lights. Look, okay, this frame picture of Mewtwo in a containment center, and Mew by Artlog. I will put his shop in the description as well. I know it didn't show up nicely, so I'm going to put a picture in there so you all can see the picture that I'm releasing. Like I said, this will be only open to my Patreon subscribers who all joined within the past month. I'm going to cut it off. Well, the people who will be entered will be cut off by, let's say, May 30th, and I'll be sending this out the second week of June. I'm going to add something special along with this that I don't want to announce just yet. Anywho, y'all stay subscribed. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all look out. Keep supporting. I love you all. And always be cool.